All right, we back. MMA tape. Yo, let's get straight into it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn the post notifications on as we are going to be trying to do this. Look, my goal on this channel is to have at least one video for every single fighter on the UFC roster. Right now, I'm doing contender series because a lot of these guys are going to get a contract, but my goal is to get everybody from the UFC on here and most guys on the PFL. The issue is NFL is back. And with NFL being back, I'm pretty busy. If you haven't checked out my channel, Big Dog Sports, that's where I post all my NFL content. And we making money, man. Big Dog spelled BIGDAWG space sports. Yo, first fight. Shanelle Dyer versus Carol Foro. So Shanelle, look, I saw tape without knowing the odds. And the first person I decided to see was Carol Foro. And when I saw Carol, I said, all right, Carol, what you got? She got a lot of power in that left hand. She got a mean left hand. She comes forward. She's plotting forward, kind of like a Jessica Andrade, and just coming and boxing her way and trying to catch you with that left. And she's just dropping chicks. She got a death touch with that left hook. Her technique is not necessarily anything crazy. She's not too fancy with it. I do like that defensively, she puts her hands up, right? I would like to see a little bit more bobbing and weaving, but at least she's putting her hands up and then pump clocking you. So she's somewhat defensively sound. And then if she gets in deep, man, forget it. It's hard to get out of there. Once she starts clocking you with that left and then the right, girls are dropping. She showed good takedown defense. So that's who Carol Foro is. All right. When I saw Carol, I was like, wow, it's going to be tough to beat her. Then I went to her opponent, not expecting for her to be able to beat Carol. And then I go over to see Shanelle Dyer. First of all, she's in the PFL and was winning fights. And in or is because I don't think she has. I think she's still with the PFL. I really don't know that. And man, this chick look good. This chick look real good. Went to a split decision. She is a kickboxer who's likes to move around, stand outside, go around the cage, come in, hit you with a couple leg kicks. By the way, Carol has leg kicks too, but this chick she wants to kick and kicks the body, kicks the head, everything. And her striking is pretty crisp. And she has that bobbing and weaving, and she goes in and out, in and out. I like Chanel Dyer a lot. I think both these girls could be a great addition to the UFC roster. I think they're in the strawweight division. I think Chanel has a reach advantage on Carol. Let me look at that right now. 2 inches in height and 2 inches in reach. And it makes a difference because of the way that Chanel fights. So here's what I take from this fight. By the way, Chanel has great takedown defense. And she has good takedowns when she needs them. She's a complete MMA fighter. I like her a lot. Chanel, if you ever see this video, keep up the good work. I think you're doing a good job. All right. So, future's bright for both these girls. Here's what I thought was interesting because really the odds are rightly placed. Chanel is fighting tougher opponents in the PFL, very experienced, great style of fighting, and she got some pop in her hands. But Carol hits hard. So if Carol catches you and she finds a way to catch you, then it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to win. It's gonna be hard to sustain those hits. Here we go. Here's the breakdown. Chanel should win this fight. However, I saw that when Chanel starts to get tired because of her fight style, she's moving around so much around the cage. She kind of has flat feet and allows herself to get hit. And she'll move, but sometimes if the other fighter's too quick, like the last girl she fought, Panini, Pedro Fanini, Scatizzi, Valentina Scatizzi. She was clocking her. And Carol hits harder than Scatizzi. So if she leaves her chin out there to get hit when she's getting tired, and Carol catches it with that left, Shanelle's gonna be in trouble. And Shanelle lost that fight split decision because of stuff like that and allowing Scatizzi to fight her way back into that fight because Shanelle wasn't really finishing her. Now I see that Shanelle has 4 KOs in her record, 2 decisions, so she knows how to finish. I don't think she's gonna finish Carol. Carol's a tough out, but I think she could get finished. I think that's a good fight if it's even available there. The win inside the distance, no action is not there. On DraftKings, we could probably get the plus 3.5 on Carol. I think that's a good bet because she should be able to get around, but those are always iffy. You got to be careful because sometimes the judges, there's always that one judge who gives the 30-27 and ruins the plus 3.5. So it's not like it's a lock or anything like that. If we're talking bets for this fight, so that's my breakdown of these fights. And this channel is really meant to just have information on the fighters for future fights, not necessarily focusing so much on this fight. So now I've done my job. I told you about Shanelle Dyer. I told you about Carol Foro. Bets for this fight? I don't think there'll be any early finishes. So maybe late finishes from Carol. Maybe Shanelle she has so many weapons, including knees and flying knees. Maybe Shanelle can catch Carol because Carol is willing to get hit. And if she can't take one of those punches, she's gonna be in trouble. So late finishes are good. The round line is probably 1.5, right? I'm sorry, 2.5. I don't know. It's up to you. It's a women's fight. You probably shouldn't bet the fight. Shanelle probably wins by decision. Okay. I always use the phrase gun to the head. Gun to the head, Shanelle by points. She edges it out. This right here, though, is so sexy. Carol by KO. It won't be easy. And I don't think it really happens. That's why it's priced like that. If anything, she'll probably get it by points by hurting Shanelle, but Shanelle surviving. And then the judges still giving it to Carol after hurting her. That's the more likely thing to happen here. But man, Carol hits hard. Technique versus power. That's what you got here. Like, comment, subscribe. And I hope this is helpful for you guys now and in the future for whoever one of these girls makes it to the UFC, which I hope is one of those situations, which is my prediction. Whoever wins the fight is going to get a contract. Let's say Shanelle. But then Carol, later down the line, because she performed so well, she gets a contract later. And we see both these girls in the UFC. And then we can use this information to help us make picks versus whoever they face later. That's what this channel's for, not necessarily the immediate bets. I think I'm done talking. Here we go. Peace.